everyone. I'm Steve here with Brian Sanchez. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Hey, glad to be here, Steve.
All right, so we're going to talk about setting goals and stuff. We've talked about quite a bit, but
Right.
we're going to talk about setting realistic fitness goals and asking yourself, are your goals realistic? And I think this is important so that you don't set yourself up for failure. Don't you think it's really important to set your goals realistically so that you're not setting yourself up for failure?
Look, it's crazy important because it's not just for failure. Um, if your goals are unrealistic when you come into any type of anything in life, we can always have that end goal where we want to set up ourselves for success in the future and say, I want to be a billionaire, or I want to lose 500 pounds, or I want to deadlift 3,000 pounds. We can always set that big thought out there, but we have to have measurables in between point A and point Z to get us there and to help make it a little more realistic approach. If you don't, certain things can happen, especially in the fitness world. When your goals are unrealistic, um, and you're not getting where you think you need to be, and I'll just say, let's say you're on a weight loss program and you want to lose 100 pounds in 3 months because you got to go to some event. You're going to a high school reunion, so you want to drop 100 pounds. It's going to crush your motivation when you don't get there. It's going to impact your self esteem when you don't get there. Um, the sad side of it, you're going to plateau at some point, maybe, because you're not doing the things you need to get to that big goal of 100 pounds. Because it's not going fast enough, because you set an unrealistic time frame on there, you can hurt yourself. You don't rest as you need to. You exhaust the body. Things start breaking down. So you have to really consider the reality of those goals. And I'll use that 100 pounds. If somebody walks into me and says, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in 3 months and go to my high school reunion, I will say, well, let's work on just losing five first. And you start making these smaller increments, make it a little more realistic and say, in 3 months, if we can lose 5 pounds a month in body fat, let's just say 3% maybe, or 5 pounds a month in overall body weight over the next 3 months, and we drop 15 pounds in 3 months, you're going to have a very successful weight loss program if you keep that 15 pounds off and continue after that. So you got to make it measurable so that you can get there. And we're not talking, well, just lose a pound a month. We're talking something smart, something realistic. If your goal is to be on stage in a year, and you've never really lifted because you want to get into, um, let's just say, bodybuilding, chances are in 1 year's time and you've never hit a gym, it's not probably going to happen in a year where you can actually successfully compete on a podium. What you can do is say, hey, in 3 years, I want to be on stage and I want to have an immaculate body. Then we can start working on, okay, phase one. We're going to reach this goal in the next 3 months. Phase two, we're going to get there in 6 months from today. Phase three, we're going to hit here and have measurables within each one of those phases that we're checking off and getting. First goal, want to drop 3% body fat, want to put on 7 pounds of muscle in the first 3 months. That's pretty heavy, but let's just say that, having that 1 year marker out there saying we're going to have 15 pounds of muscle put on and, 14 pounds of body fat dropped, maybe put that at the end of the year, but we'll have increments throughout the year that are realistic for us to reach and get there. And we're going to be doing regular scannings every month to make sure we're reaching those goals and keeping track of ourselves. And we're going to discuss our nutrition and how we eat and why we eat, maybe get you set up with some experts in the field and people that know how to create that body in that fashion will get you there. But to get to that final point, we have to have realistic goals. If you don't have them, you can lose interest in what you want to do. It can get too repetitive and you don't see the success. What I love is when we're using realistic goals in the gym and you can show people their success. One realistic goal rate reached means two's going to be easier to get there. Third one's going to get easier. Fourth one's going to get easier. Pretty soon they've lost that 100 pounds. And the time frame, when you shorten the time frame and you make these realistics and they have all these measurables that they're meeting, you might say you set over a 3 year period, you might set 20 different points that you got to hit over that three year period. And it's broken down into certain months. By the time they get there, that 3 year period has flown because every few months they're having success and you can keep them motivated to work toward that next goal. That's what I mean when I talking about reaching realistic goals. Setting something that's hard, but yet it is achievable for the most part. And then if it's realistic and they don't quite get there, but they're really, really close, you can sit down and address why we didn't get there. You might find something in the attitude, you might find something in the workout, you might find something in the eating system that didn't that stymied them, and you can remove, and then maybe in that next phase you can really work on that portion of it and they meet their success, if that makes sense. Keep it realistic, everybody.
Yeah, what you're really talking about, and I think the most important thing when you're setting goals is not just what your goal is, how much weight you want to lose, or you want to do a physique show or something. What's your timeline? Your
Yeah,
timeline is huge.
very
So
huge.
if you're looking to get in shape for a wedding, or um, get in shape for your 20-year reunion, and you want to look smoking hot, right? And impress your old girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, you can lose 25 pounds in a month and a half. But is that really who you are? Have you needed to lose 25 pounds for the last 20 years? And you're going to lose this 25 pounds. Is that really who you are? Because you're going to leave that reunion, you're going to gain it right back. Why pretend? So first of all, I think goals should be taken seriously, and once you reach those goals, you want to maintain them. And I
Yes.
always say, look, why do it if you're not going to maintain it? So you look really smoking hot for one night at a reunion or a wedding or whatever, when that's not really you. It's not really your intent to stay that way, because you want to eat. You want to eat foods that you shouldn't be eating. So that's the first thing. Um, Lose the plastic. If it's a real desire, then that's great. Now, if you're looking to do a physique show, a bodybuilding show, or something like that, a bikini contest, and you're looking at doing a show a year out, you better be in the ballpark right now. You better have some muscle on you, and you better be lean, because otherwise you are not going to be ready to do a show in a year, especially if it's your first one. People work at this for years and years and years, and a lot of people that I know that have done shows, I've done them. Kind of embarrassed to say that, but I have. Um, you see the progress through the years, and you don't just. This is not a practical goal. I want to lose 75 pounds and do a bodybuilding show in 1 year. Is that a realistic goal?
I don't think it is.
No. It's like there's too many variables there. There's too many moving parts. There's too many things going on. First, you need to lose the 75 pounds. What about putting muscle on? If you want to get fit and start doing shows, you're looking at, and you're coming from a place where you're not fit, you're looking at 5 years. So that time frame and that timeline that you're talking about for your goal matters. Now, the thing about doing a bodybuilding show or something like that, a bikini contest, is, and you're not really fit, I think those people have more of a tendency to maintain those objectives once they reach them, because that's a lot of work. And it's not like losing 25, 30 pounds in a month, 2 months, and hitting your high school reunion. You know, that wasn't that much work. It was only a couple months. But to do a show, you're looking at years. And I don't know anyone who's got fit, especially people that are older that have got fit and done a show. And we know people in our gym, David, he's never going to be fat again. Never. Because of all the work that he's put into
Right.
what
And
he's
he
never going to be fat again.
works
He started off fat, but he's been doing this, I don't know, 5, 6 years now.
at
He's
least.
never going to be fat again.
But I think he's the kind of the perfect example too. And and we both know him, and I've known him for a long time. Him and I worked in the old business together. Um, the work he's had to put in over the last 6, 7 years, I can't fathom it. Could I do something like that? Maybe, but when you look at what he's done and to maintain it, and that's what I think people have to realize. And we'll use Dave's example. This guy is absolutely shredded, and he's had to work so hard over the last years to get there, and then to maintain it to stay competitive. So I think when you're setting these goals, you see a guy like him, and yeah, he's the real deal. But for a lot of people, a lot of the times they're just interested in that. And they have to find out if that's truly what they want to do. And that's for any goal that you set in life. Because the maintenance of it when you get there, let's just say a weight loss program, maintaining the weight loss after you've lost it, that's a tough go. And that's behavioral change. If you want to win a bench press competition, to get in condition for a bench press competition, and get there and maintain that so you can be competitive for a few years, that's huge work. You want to be a fitness model. You want to get ready for I don't think anybody gets ready for these things because we get a lot of people that are going on vacation and they want to try to drop X number of pounds before vacation. I don't think they have any thought of, oh, shoot, I don't want to gain it back. They set that goal and they get there, and a lot of times, unfortunately, when we see them after they reach their goal, and we see them, or a few months later, if they don't continue to work with us, yeah, they've put it back with a vengeance. Maintaining it once you get to that goal. When you reach that goal, it doesn't mean it's over.
Yeah.
It means you have to reestablish your goals, set new parameters, and keep climbing up that mountain because you're not done when you get to that end.
You have to have the lifestyle or the lifestyle modification or change for what you want your health status to be. David, we use him. He doesn't go over 10% ever. When he competes, he's probably at 5, and so, but even when he's putting, he likes to eat sweets, he'll be the first one to tell you that. But even though that's something that he's given up in his old lifestyle, he's going to do it maybe once or twice a year. He's going to eat his sweets. He's going to eat his donut. I was doing an interview with him, and I saw a short that he did, and right after one of his shows, he ate an apple fritter, he ate a donut. And then he goes to me, I'm not feeling very good for our interview. I go, no wonder, you ate a donut. What's wrong with you? I go, I know why. I know why you don't feel. You ate a donut. His body's not used to that, so.
But he's so driven and he's changed the behavior that one donut does not throw him off his path. That's a little reward.
Exactly. It's one time, once a year. That's it. So you have to be ready to change your lifestyle if you want your health to stay a certain way, whatever it is. Maybe you're not trying to be a little skinny person, but you just want to, eliminate the risk of diabetes. You have to change your lifestyle to maintain that objective. So I say it all the time. Don't just go starve yourself for a month. Great job, but that was really no work. That was easy. Anyone can do that. Anyone can suck it up for a month or two and look different because they didn't eat anything for a month or two. But that's not real, and that's not going to be maintained.
That's so true. Look, everybody, set these goals realistic. Don't get defeated. Get things that you know you can gain. However, make them hard because there's something to be said with having to work at those goals and achieving them. You will feel good. Even if you don't get all the way there and you can figure out what you didn't do right, you make the adjustment, and at your next level of measurement, you will succeed. Make them realistic, make them achievable.
Yeah, last thing I'll say, when you do that, you said make it hard. When you do that, and it's a long term, difficult, maybe it's not difficult, but you're putting effort into it, you discipline and time. The longer you go, the more your investment. So
Yes.
if you have a year, 2 years, 3 year investment, that's not something that you're just going to decide, I'm going to flush this down the toilet in a month and now let's see how fat I can get. You're not going to do that because you've put 3 years into your health, 3 years of discipline and hard work. Nobody wants to lose that investment that they've made in themselves. So every month, every year that goes by, it gets easier to maintain it from a mental standpoint because you don't want to lose that investment. You know how hard it was, and you don't want to go back.
There's some truth to that. Listen,
All right, Brian, thank you very much for being with us, and we'll talk to you next time.
take care, everybody. We'll see you, Steve.